Hello everyone, my name is Sabrina Hart, and today I will be teaching you all about Gantt charts. Here's just a quick overview of all the content that we will cover. By the end of this presentation, I will hope to have taught you the advantages of a Gantt chart and how to use and organize a future software engineering project. We will go over the key components of a Gantt chart, advantages and disadvantages, tools to help build a Gantt chart, and a real scenario of when a Gantt chart is useful. What is a Gantt chart? It is a chart It is a type of bar chart used in project management to illustrate project schedules. It visually represents the start and finish dates of various tasks or activities within a project. Each task is represented by a horizontal bar, with the length of the bar indicating the duration of the task. The Gantt chart was developed by Henry Gantt in the 1910s to improve production efficiency in manufacturing plants. Gantt introduced the chart as a visual tool for managers to schedule and monitor the progress of production activities. Since then, Gantt charts have become widely used across industries for project planning, scheduling, and tracking. It provides a clear and intuitive way to manage project timeliness and resources. Gantt charts are most commonly used during the waterfall method, so here's just a quick reminder of what the waterfall method is. It is a linear software development approach where each phase of the project is completed sequentially. The phases typically include requirement gathering, design, implementation, testing, deployment, and maintenance. Gantt charts are useful in the waterfall method because they provide a visual representation of the project schedule and allowing the stakeholders to see the planned timeline for each phase and the dependencies between them. Project managers can use a Gantt chart to allocate resources, track progress, and ensure that each phase starts only after the previous one is completed. They also aid in identifying potential bottlenecks and managing project timeliness effectively. Here are the key components in a Gantt chart. The task list is the foundation of the chart. It holds all of the activities or tasks required to complete the project. These tasks are listed vertically along the left side of the chart. The timeline, represented along the horizontal axis, displays the project's duration in units of time, such as weeks, days, or months. Each task is visualized as a horizontal bar on the chart, with its length indicating its duration and its position on the timeline showing when it starts and ends. Dependencies between the tasks are crucial for sequencing project activities and ensuring smooth progress. These dependencies are represented by lines or arrows connecting related tasks, indicating which task must be completed before the other one can begin. Milestones are a significant point or achievements within the project timeline. Resource allocation is another vital component, representing the assignment of resources like personnel, equipment, or materials to the specific task. This aspect ensures that resources are effectively utilized throughout the project lifecycle. Overall, these key components work together to provide a comprehensive visualization representing the project's timeline, tasks, dependencies, milestones, and resources, which aids the project managers in planning, tracking progress, and effectively managing project execution. As you can see in the figure, this Gantt chart has three main tasks. Each task has even smaller tasks to reach the overall goal or milestone. This specific example has three teams working on the project. Team 1 has 3 people, Team 2 also has 3 people, while Team 3 has 5 people. These teams are expected to meet the final deliverable within 6 business weeks. Here are the advantages of using a Gantt chart. Gantt charts offer straightforward visual representation of project schedule, facilitating easy comprehension for team members and stakeholders. It is a more simple graph to read, and most can understand the objective quite quickly. They aid in identifying project dependencies, clarifying the sequence in which tasks need to be completed for efficient project execution. Furthermore, Gantt charts enable project managers to allocate resources effectively, ensuring optimal utilization for personnel, equipment, and materials amongst tasks. Teams can monitor task and milestone progress in real time, providing valuable insights into the project's status and performance. Here are the disadvantages of a Gantt chart. Gantt charts can become overly complex for long-term projects, making management challenging due to the multitude of tasks and dependencies involved. It is often hard to plan a project that will take years. For example, I personally, at my work, am working on a project that has been ongoing for about 15 years, and it would be near impossible to create a Gantt chart for that project. Additionally, they offer a static representation of project schedules, lacking adaptability to changes or unexpected development. Dependency representation may be oversimplified or inaccurate, which disabled portraying interdependencies or dynamic task relationships, potentially leading to unrealistic scheduling. Let's go ahead and stop and think. Could Gantt charts be used during agile software development? Just a quick reminder, agile software development is an iterative and flexible approach to software. It utilizes collaboration, adaptability, and customer feedback. It involves breaking projects into small, manageable iterations called sprints, as seen in the figure. Agile prioritizes running to change over following a rigid plan, allowing teams to continuously improve and adapt to evolving requirements throughout the development process. So go ahead, take a second to determine whether Gantt charts can be useful during agile development. Feel free to pause the video and think about it. The answer is yes. Gantt charts can be used for agile development, specifically during sprints. During sprints in agile, Gantt charts can serve to map sprint tasks and their dependencies, providing a visual representation of the timeline for efficient workload management and progress tracking. By utilizing Gantt charts, teams can easily communicate sprint progress to stakeholders through simple visualization, ensuring transparency and alignment with the project objectives. Here is a figure that displays how Gantt charts are used for the sprints. Instead of main tasks, there are sprints. Every sprint has mini-tasks which depend on the previous mini-task, also known as the dependencies. On the x-axis at the top, it is the timeline. And all the colored bars are used to display which mini-task needs to be completed during a certain time frame. The resources or people are displayed near the mini-task in the sprints. What are the tools to build a Gantt chart? Gantt charts are easily created, and there are many free tools out on the internet. Excel or Google Sheets provide the most simple version. Practically every company or school provides either Excel or Google Sheets, leaving these to be the most accessible tool out there. Although it is hard to create pretty graphs, but sometimes the simpler is the better. Team Gantt is specifically designed tool to make the creation process easy. There's a free version available that creates charts similar to Figure 4 from the previous slide. Jira is a powerful tool for project management where all the group members can join a team and see all the various tasks. In Jira, you can create a roadmap which can be set up like a Gantt chart. Let's go ahead and build a Gantt chart all together. Sarah, Dave, and Dan work on a software engineering team together, and Luke is their project manager. The four of them work at a large real estate company. Luke tasks them to create a user interface that will display information regarding the housing market. The user interface should display the datasets used, visualize such data, display predictions for the future, and then visualize all the predictions. Let's hope that they predict that the housing market won't skyrocket again. What are the tasks? What are the timelines? We can split up this project into three parts or three main tasks: data processing, data modeling, and creating the user interface. During the data processing, they will need to gather data, clean the data, and then visualize the data. During the data modeling, they will need to research a proper model, and then they will need to create the chosen model and test the accuracy. And finally, they will need to visualize such model. The last step would be to create the UI. First, they will need to create a prototype for the user interface, then integrate the data, visualizations, and the models into the UI. The task should be completed within 9 weeks, and each task should take only 3 weeks. All tasks have an equal amount of time for this simple example. What are the dependencies and resources? Per the nature of a Gantt chart, each task needs to be completed one before the other. You cannot visualize data if you don't already have it, and it is hard to run a model on messy data, so you need to wait for the data processing to be completed. This means that only one person can work on the project at a time. Sarah will be working on the data processing task as she has a data analysis background and is very comfortable in the Python library Pandas. Dave has a data science and machine learning background and is very comfortable in PyTorch, so he will go ahead and do the data modeling phase. Dan is a software engineer who is very comfortable in this framework called Streamlit, which can create user interfaces for data science projects. Here is the final Gantt chart. I created this Gantt chart in Google Sheets and it's a very simple Gantt chart. As you can see on the top x-axis, the project spans 9 weeks. The y-axis contains the 3 main tasks in bold and the mini tasks below each. Sarah's tasks are in pink, Dave's tasks are in purple, and Dan's are in red. Most weeks only have one mini task, except for weeks 5 and 8. As you can see, the chart has a cascading effect like a waterfall. The final step is deploying the user interface. How did the Gantt chart do? Well, the Gantt chart did great, and the customer and Luke were very proud of Sarah, Dave, and Dan. In conclusion, Gantt charts provide structured framework for planning projects, enabling clear outlines of task timelines and dependencies. They offer visual representations of project schedules, fostering better understanding and communication amongst team members. Additionally, Gantt charts facilitate efficient resource allocation by highlighting dependencies, requirements, which prevent overallocation and ensure effective resource utilization. Thank you all so much for listening, and I hope to have convinced you to all use a Gantt chart in the future. Everyone have a very nice day.